This is the Information Brief, a Holyoke media service with the most recent updates of relevance in the city of Holyoke and the Pioneer Valley. I'm Johan Rashi Vega, and this is the information for Wednesday, June 3rd of 2020. In a commendable community organizing effort by a local group led by women of color, hundreds of people gathered in a march and vigil in Holyoke Downtown this Tuesday, demanding justice against police brutality. Holyoke Public Schools makes an official statement on being an anti-racist institution. The Massachusetts Black and Latino Legislative Caucus has presented policy proposals to address the relationship between the police and communities of color. And we have the most recent update from the state related to the Holyoke Soldiers' Home. This is the information. This Tuesday, June 2nd, Holyoke City Hall saw the gathering of hundreds of people peacefully marching along High Street and Appleton Street, where they held a vigil outside the Holyoke Police Station in an exemplary demonstration demanding justice and the end of police brutality and racial violence against the African American community and people of color. This march and vigil was organized by the 413 Boricuas community group, led by women of color who made sure to unite people in an orderly manner to send a strong message of rejection of police brutality, racism, and demanding justice for the violent deaths of black people like George Floyd, Breonna Taylor, Tony McDade, and Ahmaud Arbery, among many others. Members of the Holyoke community and many allies from neighboring cities and towns gathered at this event in which no incidents of any kind were reported. This outcome was a combination of the organizing group's effort with a sense of purpose, as well as the support of the Holyoke Police Department to allow and facilitate the gathering of people to protest. In fact, Holyoke Police Chief Manny Fibo met with the organizers before the beginning of the activity to explain that the space and road will be arranged so that the march could be carried out smoothly. This event was attended by members of the Holyoke community, including organization leaders, elected officials, teachers, students, families, and business owners. It had speakers from different community groups like Black Holyoke and the Palante Restorative Justice Program. Certainly, with an organized gathering like this and an outcome with zero incidents, Holyoke sent a strong message amid the intense protests across the nation. This Wednesday, during the Holyoke Public Schools update by Superintendent Dr. Steve Shrike on Facebook Live, there was an important statement that aligns to the current national situation of awareness on racism and violence against Black folks and people of color.
So I did want to start today talking a little bit about the tragic events that have plagued our country, and I just wanted to share a little bit from the letter that I have recently shared with the community in the last 24 hours. And I wanted to just share some thoughts, and I'm going to read to you from the letter, and then we'll get into talking a little bit about some things that are happening, and I can share with you some information about the plans for reopening school. But the tragic and senseless murder of George Floyd is a painful reminder to all of us of this country's long history with racism. We as a school district condemn the actions that led to Mr. Floyd's murder and countless others who have been victimized merely because of the color of their skin. In the last few days, so many people in our community have experienced a wide range of emotions, frustration, anger, sadness, fear, and just outright exhaustion. We heard a lot of that yesterday in the peaceful rally, the solidarity rally that occurred through downtown Holyoke yesterday. So many members of our Holyoke family are hurting, and we must support each other through this incredibly challenging time that's obviously complicated by the COVID-19 closure. As a school system, we have to acknowledge that we're part of the problem. We contribute to the racial divide that exists in our country. While we have made a lot of strides, I think, to address inequities in the Holyoke Public Schools, we have never publicly stated that we are an anti-racist organization. We now make that statement that Holyoke Public Schools is an anti-racist organization. And how to be an anti-racist, Kendi, the author, writes, I define an anti-racist idea as any idea that says that racial groups are equal. To be anti-racist is to think nothing is behaviorally wrong or right, inferior or superior with any of the racial groups. We affirm our commitment to this deep work to examine the practices and policies that are predictive in our system of who fails and who succeeds in the Holyoke Public Schools. Additionally, every educator in our system must reflect on their biases and privileges that influence how we interact with students, families, and colleagues. This work belongs to all of us. White educators cannot rely on our brown and black colleagues to bear the burden of leading this work. We all have the responsibility to eradicate racism that exists in our schools and heal the wounds that racism has caused so many people in this country, in this city, and around the world. I pledge to work closely with Dr. Vasquez-Matos as he transitions to ensure that concrete steps are developed to more aggressively dismantle the systems that perpetuate racism in our schools. He has significant experience supporting schools to become more culturally proficient, responsive, and experience developing solutions to combat institutional racism. I know this is an uncertain and difficult time for us all, but we must find strength in what makes Holyoke special. We are a school system that is rich in diversity, intellect, and above all, in an undying belief in our young people. Our students need us right now more than ever to be courageous and to unify around a relentless commitment to seek educational justice for every student and to stand up against racism. I have no doubt in the strength of this community to do just that and transform the experience that every child has who attends our schools. This is the work. It can't be a side project. It can't be a nice initiative. We have to make this the work. I'm sorry that it's taken the events of the last few weeks, for us to see that more clearly, or for me as a leader to see that more clearly. But this is our work. And I am confident that this is the work that Dr. Matos, or Vasquez Matos, will build on as he arrives in Holyoke in the next few weeks.
In other news related to the Holyoke Public Schools as well, enrollment for next school year has gone digital, and students in all grades can now be enrolled online for the 2020-2021 school year. Parents can enroll students directly from a computer or phone by going to enrollholyoke.com. There are few special considerations. For kindergarten, all students must be 5 years old on or before September 1st, 2020. For preschool, all students enrolling for the first day of school must be 3 years old on or before September 1st of 2020. Additional preschool program details can be found on the website enrollholyoke.com. The documents needed for enrollment are parent or guardian photo ID, proof of student's age, proof of residency, proof of occupancy, a physical exam within the last 12 months, the immunization record, and a lead test for preschool and kindergarten students. If you have questions, you can contact the Enrollment Center Manager, Rebecca Lamb, by calling 413-561-0862 for English and 413-314-3560 for Spanish. With information shared by State Rep. Aaron Vega, the Massachusetts Black and Latino Legislative Caucus has presented policy proposals to address the relationship between the police and communities of color. These proposals are listed in a 10-point plan to address police violence and advance racial justice, and addresses points in federal, state, and municipal levels. And regarding the Holyoke Soldiers' Home, we have an update from the state. The Soldiers' Home in Holyoke is actively preparing to resume outdoor visitations per the state-issued guidelines in the middle of June. But before that, is conducting another round of full-house COVID-19 testing of veteran residents and staff, developing outdoor visitation protocols that prioritize the health and safety of the veterans and staff, with continued focus on infection control. On Monday, Governor Charlie Baker announced that restrictions on visitations at nursing homes, rest homes, and assisted living residences implemented on March 15 have been modified to allow for outdoor visitation for families with restrictions for continued public health. This plan will be contingent on the continued stability of infection controls and public health metrics, which they continue to monitor daily and coordinating with state and local health officials. All veteran residents' health is being monitored and retesting is being conducted for veterans both on and off-site as clinically appropriate. As the results are being received, veterans residents will be cohorted and further monitored. Recovery units are being identified and readied for residents. Due to the retesting being conducted, no new numbers are being provided today. These numbers will be updated when retesting results are received. Stay in the know with Holyoke Media. We are reporting different announcements, services, and updates in the local, state, and federal level related to the COVID-19 emergency. The service is available in English and Spanish for our community in the city of Holyoke and the Pioneer Valley. This is the information we have for today. We will continue updating and following up as soon as more relevant information becomes available. If you have questions or information to share with us as well as your concerns, you can contact us on our different outlets on social media. We are on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and podcast distribution platforms. Also, you can watch us on Holyoke Cable Channel 15. Remember to wash your hands, keep a safe distance if you need to be out, and also remember to wear a face covering or mask. This has been the information brief for June 3rd, 2020. I'm Johan Rashi Vega. You are watching Holyoke Media.